Rosina, I mean, on the flip side of this, if you can create a family-friendly work environment, I'm sure you know the statistics. Usually the work productivity improves. Actually, I'm sure you know the statistics much better than I do, but work productivity improves. People are happier, and you see declines in things than like mental health issues and whatnot. So I'm sure you've worked with organizations. Have you seen and been able to track, now that you've been doing this for 10 years, you've been doing it for a decade, to kind of show that change and that trend to an organization?
So that's absolutely correct. And what we want is prevention is better than cure, right? It's much cheaper. What we know is if you look at the statistics, and we've had some studies from the UK and in Australia. One of them was the Deloitte study, looked at the return on investment that you get if you put well-being programs targeted, and that's the important part, the targeted well-being programs in place. And if you don't mind, this is the time when the 5 steps can
I
come
was
in.
going to ask about
No, I was going to ask.
bring them back.
Bring up our 5 steps in. Okay, so first thing in an organization, if you're a people leader, is find out the data on your working parents. When I do the people leader training, the first question I ask is, what proportion of your workforce is working parents and what proportion are women? And oftentimes I'll get between 20 and 30% of leaders that go, I don't know, not sure. Now, you can't fix something you don't know is a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your workforce. So once you find out the data of your workforce and the risks they face, so when you know you've got women, you know that they take a greater share of home and childcare as well as work, right? So they've got that mental load. Then you say to yourself, all right, well, here are all the risks. And once you've identified the risks, you're in a really good position to train the leaders on the risks. So step 1, collect the data. Step 2, train the leaders. Step 3, targeted programs and policies. Now, we want to give, in that leadership training, one of the things that I talk about as a sign of a great family-friendly organization, if leaders have policies and processes that they can say, yes, here's what I did to alleviate the challenges for working parents. It's actually part of their KPIs. Like, imagine that. You know, these were the issues. This is how I alleviated them. Like, go leader. Right. So we want training and policies, and then we want to target the programs. So one of the big ones is parents are worried about their kids' mental health, and that's why they have experts like you to go to. Now, I always say, if there is a mental health issue, you go to an expert. But if there are so many things parents can do to support mental health of themselves and their family.
Amen. That's what that's my bag. Yes.
Yeah. So yes, get help if you need it, but hey, try this first. Like, you know, so we want to have programs that target technology, gaming, mental health. What kind of foods? How do you feed a child that only wants to eat white? You know, that's right.
Communication tools.
This is all the prevention stuff again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's exactly right. So that's the next thing. So targeted programs. Then the next thing is, there's no point in having, you know, everyone says, oh, we're family friendly, but actually you're too scared to go to your manager to say, I need a day off, or I need you to change this workload, or I'm going through a divorce right now, or a personal issue. If you don't want to say what it is, I'm going through a personal issue in our family and I need, you know, extra support. So that's creating that true family-friendly culture. And then finally, and this is what you were talking about, Melissa, is you've got to monitor and report on it. Because if you don't measure it and report on it, you're not going to know whether it was a good return on investment. Did we reduce employee turnover? One of the biggest reasons in the Deloitte report was my child's mental health was a reason for leaving, which of course makes perfect sense. Yeah. I'm sorry about the sunshine at the moment. As you know, it's sunrise here at the moment. I didn't think about that. So I hope that's okay. I've just got the sunrise coming up this morning in my window. But yeah, so child mental health is such an important topic, and also gaming addiction, social media addiction, those sorts of things. So those are the kind of targeted programs we want to see. Is it making a difference? So that's the 5-step plan. It's free. Anybody can access it on our website. So it's not something that's hidden, but can help, organizations.